All right, welcome back to No Hard Feelings podcast. Today we have a professional juggler, a gold medalist, a 19-time Guinness World Record holder, trick shot master. He's been on TV shows such as Ellen, Steve Harvey, ESPN, NFL Network, and MLB Network. Josh Horton, how you doing, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys.
That's a pretty extensive resume you got.
I was gonna say, be honest. Do I have the longest intro of anyone you've had on the podcast so far?
You definitely do. You definitely do.
Yes, you have. Very impressive resume too, for sure.
Thank you.
So, how's life in general going? Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of getting into the groove of something new, obviously, but it's been going okay. My life is like 80% focused on YouTube these last few years, and my YouTube channel just kind of fell off a cliff with COVID for several different reasons, I think. But so that's been a little frustrating. But otherwise things have been good.
Good. Yeah, I was just talking to my dad, and it was like you were saying, getting used to like this new thing, and it's like I'm so used to being on like Zoom or Skype calls now. It's like almost becoming the new normal, which I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? Like I'm so used to like talking to Jordan or like guys like you over Skype, and it's just like I'm getting very used to it.
Very different.
Yeah. So no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just from watching some of your YouTube videos, we can tell you got a wide variety of like trick shots and all that kind of thing, whether it's juggling, soccer trick shots, basketball. Where did you kind of like start at to kind of grow into that?
Yeah, I mean, so I started as a juggler. So, I learned to juggle in elementary school, and then I worked for a social media agency for a few years out of college and kind of learned about social, but then I quit to be a professional performer. So I was performing on the side while I was working at this company. And then I quit to perform full time, but I'd learned so much about social media. Some of my, I knew how to properly edit and put. This was like when Instagram video was brand new, and so my Instagram started to blow up a little bit, and then it kind of snowballs from there. And so then I knew to reach a broader audience, I wasn't just going to be a juggler, and so that's kind of when I started to incorporate sports and trick shots, because obviously everyone loves sports and not everyone loves a juggler. So that was kind of a way for me to really take it to the next level. And I was always an athlete. I'm not a crazy sports fan, but I've always been athletic. I've always been coordinated. I played high school basketball for a little bit, so like it made sense. I wasn't like selling out to get more followers. Like I loved it, and so it made more sense.
For sure. Yeah, I saw you like in a couple of your videos, like just the way you like shot the basketball or like kicked the soccer ball. I could tell like you definitely had some sports experience before.
Yeah, a little bit.
We were actually just watching your the last person to stop dribbling gets $1,000 video that you posted yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun. Fun.
That was good. Yeah, I like that one.
People love that format. That's kind of the Mr. Beast recipe right now, but it's like I try to not, obviously if I do that stuff, I try to put my own spin on it, but people beg for that format of video right now, so I'm gonna try to lean into it when I can and just put my own creative spin on it.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole wheel was cool because it kind of it put like something else into the game, not just standing there dribble the whole time until someone gets tired. It's interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So obviously you said you started juggling when you were like in elementary school, you said?
Yeah, second grade, I think.
So like who introduced you to like juggling?
My elementary school had a after school circus club. Like it was like a little activity after school.
Cool.
So
that's cool. And then you just decided to run with it.
Yep.
So you get super creative too. Like obviously I've seen you like with the ping pong. I honestly like I watched your like montage video on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow, he comes up with like so many crazy things. Or like the where you're throwing the bowling pins into the bat. Like how do you come up with like
clubs? But I'll let it slide. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. Yeah. So I mean, you have to. The thing about this is like every time you have to outdo yourself. You can't post a video that's not as cool as the one you posted prior. So it kind of forces me to be more creative and try harder stuff.
Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, like I remember I was watching your videos like when I first came across you, and I was just thinking like we were at baseball practice one day and I just had 3 baseballs. I was hurt, so I was just on the bench. I was trying to juggle 3 baseballs and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me how to juggle. And I was like, this dude is like throwing chairs and like helmets.
A lot of people who tell me they learn to juggle say they learn because they're bored at baseball or tennis practice. So when there are the right size, athletic balls around that you can just practice and you got nothing else to do, that's when a lot of people learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's definitely a technique to it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna ask you to go into all that because I'm sure that's.
there's a tutorial on YouTube. You guys can.
I was gonna say I'm
check it
sure
out.
there's a video.
Definitely have to check it out for
Yeah.
sure.
So you said you got kind of your start in like marketing yourself through that social media agency you worked through, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So I would assume you can attribute a lot of your success or attention to social media. Like when did you exactly, and on what platforms did you get started getting more attention?
Yeah. So Instagram was my main thing when I was performing full time. Like I didn't have time to be doing YouTube videos because that's a whole to do YouTube correctly. Like it really is a full time job. It's tough. I have a lot of respect for the people that hustle their full time job on a YouTube channel because it's a lot. And so I was just on Instagram for a while, and then some of the, starting to dabble on YouTube, and then some early platforms kind of helped a little bit too. Like I was really, really early on Musically, which is now TikTok.
Yep.
So I think even before it transitioned to TikTok, I had 500,000 on Musically. So that helped me in the TikTok world.
Mm-hmm.
And then YouTube has just been like a slow, steady grind. Like it has not. I've had a few. Obviously, like YouTube has its ups and downs, and I've had a few like big months. But for the most part, it's just like slowly going up, and it's finally paying off. Like I tell people, I mean, pre-COVID, COVID has hurt both my earnings and my views a lot. But before that, I would tell people like I'm doing the same amount of work as I was 4 years ago. I'm just getting paid for it now, which is nice. So
Yeah.
So
I mean,
how long have you really been going like pound for pound, like nailing
on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
It's somewhere in between 3 and 4 years, and that's never missing an upload. I did 3 years of every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and then for 2020, I went down to twice a week.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's like doing a YouTube channel is like at first when we kind of started the podcast, I had the mentality that like, oh, like we can just record it, like throw it on YouTube, like it'll be fine. But I've realized that like, but just by watching other people's podcasts or like other people's videos, like you have to take the time and like edit it, make sure everything is nice, make sure everything looks nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, and like from the thumbnail to the description, like everything like that has to be on point in order to grow. And then if everything's on point, you grow steadily, like super slowly, steadily, like you were saying.
Yep.
So
for sure.
YouTube is a grind for sure. It's not like TikTok where you could like, post 10 videos and get a massive amount of following for that.
Right. But it's the one I knew. I mean, I knew going into it, like if I wanted to make a living as a creator, I had to have a YouTube channel. Like it is very possible to make a lot of money on Instagram. It is very possible to make a lot of money on TikTok. But right now, they're not guaranteed. It's just through brand deals. They're starting to launch some monetization through IGTV and stuff soon. And you can do that on Facebook and Twitter. But I just think YouTube is the best place to have like a steady income.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I think it's one of the easier platforms to monetize too. Because like you said, you could have brand deals, but it's also one of the only major platforms that has like long form videos. You know what I mean? So you can monetize with ads through there.
Right.
Things like that. Good. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize how into social media you were. I think that's very interesting.
Oh yeah. So I ran brand campaigns for like Coca-Cola, and one of my biggest clients was Sony Pictures. So every movie that came out for Sony Pictures for about 2.5 years, I was the person posting on their Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff. So it was, I kind of learned, definitely got deep into the world of social media through that, and kind of the grind on the brand side, which definitely helps me as a creator as well.
So did you do that through the company that you're working for? Like the company that was one of the
those
companies?
Those are our clients. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
That's really cool. So that was before. That was before you got like into the whole like branding yourself?
Social media,
right?
yeah. So I was still performing for a living, and that at the time that was my goal. So I was always doing a lot of NBA and college halftime shows. Was kind of my bread and butter for a long time. And so even when that job was remote, so we could work from wherever. So I would literally be in like the green room of Staples Center or whatever, like sitting out an email, and then they're like, all right, 3 minutes till halftime. And I'm like, I gotta go. And so it was a lot. It was a lot some days, but
that's like definitely an experience for sure.
Yeah.
Managing two totally different worlds. Like I feel like you're on this like corporate, like not corporate, but you know what I mean, like super professional social media marketing agency type thing, and then you're like performing at like the Lakers. You know what I mean? Halftime
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, and I think like I kind of waited to the very last minute to quit my real job to when I knew I was going to be good. And I feel like that's advice you'll hear from Gary Vee or those kind of people, where it's like work your side hustle until you can't, do your other one anymore.
Right.
And so I feel like I really did wait until I had some guaranteed serious income before I fully quit. It was still scary, and I was not guaranteed more money than I was making, but it was time to make the move.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way to do it. I mean, like, I feel like you got to find that area of where, it's if it's too soon to make that jump, or like you waited too long and now you're overrunning yourself. You know what I mean? We just did a podcast with Dylan Reese. He's an artist, and he was saying after college he moved home and spent 2 years at home, just like saving money, working jobs. You know what I mean? And I thought that was super commendable. And obviously, like, you did the same type of thing where you were working your job, and then working on your side hustle or your passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously it paid off at the end, but
yeah,
that's definitely necessary.
Yeah. Kind of speaking on something other than your whole career and that other stuff, you were on Ellen, and I saw some of the trick shots you did on stage. How nerve-wracking was that?
It was the most terrifying experience of my career, for sure. So this was this is like, I mean, my ping pong spitting trick shot video is like one of my older YouTube videos. And it was kind of when I was like, hey, I'm going to try to make trick shot videos. Like, that was one of the first ones I made. And it got seen by the Ellen Show, which was crazy. My first video out there. And they emailed me, were like, hey, can you do this live? And I was like, yeah. when that 2-minute video probably took me 12 hours to film. And so I practiced my butt off and tried to get consistent with it. And in rehearsals, it took me 19 attempts on the first shot. And on the second shot where the cup's on my head, I knocked the cup off my head and water spilled everywhere. And they were like, all right, rehearsal's over. And then for the real show, I got both of them first try.
That's awesome.
It was scary, but worked out. Clutch.
Maybe someone was looking out for you or something like that.
I think so.
Clutch time. Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I thought it was very impressive. I was like, even if I was shooting a regular cup punch, I don't think I could make it.
It was scary. And the series was called Epic or Fail, so they were okay with people failing. So it wasn't like they were going to make me look good. Like they were okay with either option. So it was scary.
So did you like interact with Ellen at all? Or
nope.
No, it was just kind of like
I literally didn't see her off camera.
Really?
So yeah.
Speaking of like practice, you're talking about like practicing regular like juggling. How often do you practice? Like even when you were younger and now, is there a difference?
Yeah, very big difference, because now I don't really practice. I every once in a while will, Sunday afternoon, I'll go out there and just casually check in, make sure I can still do it. But I don't really practice anymore. But I did for almost all of high school and college, did 4 hours a day, every day. So that's when I got good.
I mean, I would seeing your videos, I could believe that you practice 4 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like that.
I feel like you have to be a professional, especially at your level, and especially with all the things that you've done and the events that you've done. I feel like you have to have that kind of physique.
Yeah, and so I was competing in the World Championships at the time too, and so all I cared about was being a good juggler. And then kind of when I started to need to make a living, that's kind of when it shifted. And I also had some like injury issues. Like I still have back and shoulder problems from it all. My senior year of college, I got permission from all my professors to either stand in the back of the classroom or lay down on a yoga mat because my back was so messed up I couldn't sit in a chair for an hour. And that was all from juggling. And I would do that, and then I would still go to the freaking gym and juggle for 4 hours because I was an idiot.
Hey, but it worked out.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really practice anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess you said that like 80% of your time is like spent on YouTube. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I guess that's more of your focus. Do you still perform live?
A little bit. I did.
Well, obviously, not now, but.
Yeah, no, I was in the middle of like a tour, it was like a church a youth group tour, like where it was like a big thing, though, where like they rent out like the 2,500 seat stadiums in the towns, and we'd do like a weekend long thing with Christ
cool.
in Youth. And then I did a few halftime shows this season, but I'm kind of I'm not retiring from that. I'm just not doing the ones I don't want to do for so many years. It was me having to email all these teams and beg them to let me come, and now it's like I'm okay where I can like just choose the ones I want to do. So
For sure.
this year I did like Butler University is one of my favorite ones ever. So I've done Butler 10 seasons in a row. So I'll probably never say no to them. But yeah, I don't know. Not as many as I used to.
Yeah, for sure. So do you what like what would constitute you to like say no? Would it be like the crowd size or like?
No, it's just like if they're gonna lowball me on price, or if it's a inconvenient date. I've missed holidays, I've missed birthday, my wife's birthday or whatever. It's like I'm now I'm at a place where I'm not so desperate for these gigs that I can choose what I want to do. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, not only that you're in the place, but you put yourself in that position
to
be selective, and you don't have to send out all those emails like you're saying. Now people are sending you emails, and you get to pick.
Yeah, I think 2 basketball seasons ago, I did 43 halftime shows within basketball season. So that's at least 86 days of traveling. And so that's just from November to April or whatever it is. So it was a lot, and it was tough. So I don't ever want to do that many again, for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of traveling. I guess I didn't even think about that, like how much you travel. Like I guess, like I said, we were just talking to a couple people who go on tour, and like that's literally like going on tour. You know what I mean? You're traveling all the time.
Yeah, it was almost sometimes worse because I was sometimes literally. We lived in Dallas at the time, which was actually a good place to live for traveling around the country because it's kind of central. But there would be times where I would come home, land at 10 p.m., and then have a 6 a.m. flight, and it was just like awful. Or I had my wife pick. Dallas has 2 airports. I had one time I had Cassie pick me up from one airport and take me to the next airport.
Oh my god!
Like just for my next. So yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, the grind for sure.
So kind of just like a side note, like you perform a bunch of big crowds and everything. Any notable crowds or like any like thing that stands out to you?
So my first season doing halftime shows, I did a few small colleges. I started by like offering for free or like $100 or whatever it was, and then slowly built up. I think the next season I did a few bigger ones. I remember University of Iowa was one of my first big university gigs, and that whole season went by, and I've been trying to get NBAs, no response from NBA, no response from NBA the whole basketball season, and then I got asked to juggle at a like used car lot that summer. I got back from college, and they were like, "Hey, we've got $150," which at the time was nothing for me to do any. That's a pretty low gig, no matter who you are for a juggler. But they were like, and we've got like some Lakers cheerleaders and the players doing autographs. And I was like, really? Well, maybe I can, if I do this gig, maybe I can meet someone who works for the Lakers and get a halftime show for next season. And this was in like April or whatever, I forgot what it was. And met the person there, got them my email address, and they emailed me that week, and they was, hey, playoffs are next week. Can you do Game 5? And I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't know if I got all that exactly right, but into the story was my first NBA show ever was Game 5 of Lakers playoffs.
That's crazy.
I mean, Kobe, obviously, but it was Game 5. So yeah, I'm trying to think what year that was. 2016, 17. I don't remember, but yeah. So my first NBA halftime show was sold out Staples Center.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, like
that's not a small stage.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to do like, Bucks preseason or something as my first halftime show. Well, Bucks are good. Bucks are good now.
No, at the time, but at the
time they weren't. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, like you said, you were just like, emailing every NBA team like take what you can get, and then you get game 5. You know what I mean? Like that's so crazy.
And it went well. It went well. I was almost peed my pants, but it went well.
Man. Yeah. So one thing I kind of picked out of that is like, I obviously like that you got that opportunity. You saw like a networking opportunity. You were like, okay, like some people from the Lakers are going to be there. I don't know who it's going to be, but like someone's going to be there. I bet you I can get them my email at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's so important with literally anything you do. Juggling, if you have a podcast, if you own a business, whatever you do, I feel like networking relationships is so important.
For sure.
I've been on that kick a little bit lately where I've just been focused on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously paid off for you extremely well. So obviously that was super nerve wracking. Have you ever like dropped the anything?
Sure. I mean, drops happen. I mean, the best jugglers in the world drop in their shows all the time. It's kind of the one, like, I don't like being looped into circus discipline, but it is a circus discipline. Like, it is the most easy to mess up of any circus, like, because you can watch a gymnast or whatever and they'll say, oh my gosh, did you see my foot on that landing, where it's no one in the audience can tell, unless they're a gymnast. Right. But jugglers, it's like everyone knows when you drop. So it happens. It used to be like, my halftime show would be every show I'd have one drop, and that was kind of average for a while. And then I remember that season where I did 42 shows, I had one drop total. So it gets to be put on autopilot a little bit, and that comes with practice and being good, but also just like calm, learning to be calm and not freak out, but then also learning what goes in your show and what's too hard. Right. And so I knew I could do my act without warm up, without I had my Jordan my Jordan fever or flu moment where I was doing Yukon, and I had just taken my temperature at the hotel and it was at 104 or something. I had to go do my show, dropless show. Like it was so easy for me at that point. So
yeah. Oh my, you 104. That's like.
Yeah, it was not good.
Like that's.
It was not good. I went to the doctor right after.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, obviously once you keep doing more and more, you become calm. Were you ever not nervous at all? Or I feel like
I don't get nervous now.
Really? I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of like an anxious person by nature. I feel like I would always be nervous. You know what I mean? At least a little bit.
It's a thing you got to practice, but
for sure.
Yeah,
sure. So I did want to set aside a little bit of time. I know about Pokemon cards. I know I've seen you tweet about it. I don't know. I know you followed me. I don't know if you've seen any of my tweets about it, but I just want to, talk to you a little bit about Pokemon cards because not a lot of people are into that, I feel like. So
so I saw the kind of I'm not saying I would have been a millionaire, but I saw the uptick in sports cards, a year or two ago. And I was like, man, if I knew what I was doing, I bet I could make some money on this. But I just kind of knew my whole life is kind of all about sports, but I don't watch. I can tell you last time I watched a game of any sport. I'm not into professional sports at all. I would go do these NBA halftime shows and not watch a minute of the game. I love sport. I love playing sports. My YouTube channel's about it, but I just don't care about pro sports. Mm-hmm. And I know it's hard to relate to people like you. Clearly, your backgrounds, but that's just been my life. My dad, parents didn't care, so I never grew up with a team or any of that. Okay. So anyway, I was like, I don't know enough about this. I won't be able to keep track of who's doing well, who's getting hurt, whatever. So I took my hands off sports cards and was like, I'll let someone else have this one. And when I saw that Pokemon was on the rise, I was like, hey, I know Pokemon. And so, that's kind of why I got into that. And, it's something that's fun. It's different. And I think it's a really good investment right now. Just doing my, the research before I kind of went all in on it. It's like, $1,000 sports card, there'll be 20,000, 20,000 of them in the world, and $1,000 Pokemon card, there's 150 of them. Right. And so I don't think it's there yet, but I think that scarcity is going to catch up. And when people realize there's only, 200 of them left, whatever it is, the price will rise because obviously sports are huge, but also like Pokemon is literally the biggest media franchise in the world. Like it is sold more than Hello Kitty and Star Wars and any other. Like it is literally number one. So
because I feel like it's in so many. Like I feel like Pokemon. Like I was looking through like all mail cards, and I have like German cards, Spanish cards, Japanese cards, Chinese. Like every country has their own different set. They have different sets that come out. Like the Japanese sets are totally different than the English sets. You know what I mean? Names, cards in them, they're totally different. So I feel like that plays in it. It's super global.
You know what I mean? For sure. And they were just all over the place. I remember I'm as a kid, it was like I'd wake up really early to watch the cartoon show, then I would trade the cards at home, and then I would get home and play the video game. It's just like it was all encompassing, and they're still coming out with stuff. Like the Pokemon Go obviously was a couple years ago, but like that was a huge hit. And I knew the old cards are a hot commodity right now, but I didn't realize like the new cards are hard to keep on the shelves. Some of the decks. So like I think the more the popularity rises as a whole, the better these value of the old card. Because I don't know, I literally don't know anything about the new cards. Not really. I don't own a single Hidden Fate or Sun and Moon. I don't know. I couldn't even list them for you. I just have base set and some of the a couple of fossil and that sort of thing.
That's cool though. Yeah. So are you generally more of a collector than I would say? You're not trying to like flip them.
I'm not currently flipping. I mean, I'm for a collector's purpose. I'm working on my full base set.
That's what I am too, actually.
Which I'm really. I just need to I'm doing all PS9 first editions for my non-hollows, and so I just need Beedrill and War Turtle, and then I'm done with that. And then I have all my PSA 9 hollows, but they're not firsts. So I couldn't decide if I wanted to. I feel like that would take up forever / $100,000. So I don't know.
The Charizard alone is
alone. Yeah.
The most recent one that sold at auction was like 70 something grand.
Yeah, it's wild.
Just something
for a card.
Yeah.
Well, peace.
Well, I need to find more Pokemon cards, bro.
But then, so that's kind of for fun / investment. Like I think it's a good investment, but then that's mainly for me. But then just for investment purposes, I'm buying up whatever Pikachu and Charizards I can. Yeah. I think even you can get a PSA 9 Charizard right now for $200 or whatever. Like, yeah, it's a PSA, or sorry, I meant 6. PSA 6 Charizard right now for like $200. Like, even though it's a 6, I think for a while from now, it's still going to be, it's going to quadruple.
I was just, I don't know who I was telling, maybe, I don't know. But like those base set, like early, like Jungle Fossil base set 2, I feel like we should hold on to those because as time goes on, population is going to decrease. So even if it's 20 years, you know what I mean? The graded cards that are 4, 5, and 6s are going to be worth
for sure
hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? Even if they're not first edition,
Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing about it is just like when I was in middle school, was when I was crazy into Pokemon cards, and now I'm 30, and now I have money to buy back the same Pokemon cards I had before, and I think that's why stuff's on the rise, because that generation now has money for the first time. They now have kids for the first time who are getting into the new cards. So the kids are buying the new cards. The parents are buying the old cards as for fun or nostalgia or whatever it is. So
I was just gonna say that I don't know. Maybe I was watching a video and they were saying that like the people who were into them as kids have adult money now that they have like free reign to spend, and like they don't have to ask their parents to buy a booster pack. You know what I mean? Like, so they can just buy everything that they want for their kids, and that's why, it's growing. You know what I mean? Like the people who got out of it are now back into it.
Yeah, and the 25th anniversary is this year, which I also think could be a big thing. That might be where I sell some of my first sets of cards. Is potentially, and once the 25th anniversary hits, we'll see.
Yeah, sure.
But
I know you said you weren't into like the new cards, but the holiday sets. So I know you said Hidden Fates. Like obviously you've heard of Hidden Fates because it's super expensive. Like those elite trainer boxes that like sold originally for like $40-$50 were just selling for like $250-$300.
Jeez.
And it's because it's the holiday set. So the holiday sets that come out have like they have less cards, so it's easier to pull big cards, and they have better pull rates. So like those are super hot commodities, and the new one is coming out. Is the next set that comes out. So if you were
I saw there was one that comes out on the 10th or 14th in 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's Darkness Ablaze, but after that, the next one after that is the holiday set. So if you were looking to like just like buy one and hold on to it for like a year, you might be able to flip it for some good money.
Okay, cool. But
That on.
that'll be the Darkness Ablaze holiday.
No, it's called Champion's Path.
Champion's Path holiday.
Yeah, it's like the holiday set.
Okay.
But it's just Champion's Path.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. It's part of the Sword and Shield. Well, I guess you're not.
I'm working on it. No, I want to. I want to know because the other side of it is through my research on all this. Like I've been watching some of the big Pokemon YouTubers, and I'm like, man, they have crazy views for opening Pokemon cards. Like if I could start another channel, I wouldn't do it on my main channel because that would be really weird. But it'd have to be a second channel. But like,
yeah.
The editing on those is so much easier than mine. There's no scoreboards. Sometimes there's no music. You just have to like set a camera up and just do it. Like that would be so easy to have a second channel, and it would just kind of be like therapeutic. Like I find myself just watching those people just like open. Oh, what's it going to be? Like you have to watch to the end because you don't know what they're going to find. So
right, and then they get you with the title like I pulled the rarest card or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I gotta see it.
I'm not even that invested, but I still keep watching. So
right. Well, the thing with the editing too, I feel like if you did something like that, like Jordan used to edit our vlogs, and like I feel like that was pretty like even like we didn't do anything like crazy edit wise, but like it still was like took a decent amount of time, I would assume, right?
Yeah. A lot. So we'll see. I might start another channel. I started just for fun to test it out. I started messing with a TikTok account just for my Pokemon cards, and I went with catch 'em all cards because I'm a juggler. Got to catch 'em all.
That's a good name.
So, we'll see.
I like that a lot. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, like people do things where like you can buy like slots and like so like you send like the guy like $20 and like you're like, okay, this is your pack, and he'll open it for you and he'll like send you whatever cards are in the pack.
Ooh, it's interesting.
Yeah. So like I've seen people get like $100 cards out of that for like they send him like $20 and he sends them very expensive cards.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know what the CPM, like how much you earn per view on those channels are because there's such a specific type of video, but I do see it's like it'd be way easier for me to sell my cards when I have 500,000 Pokemon followers, right? Like
for sure.
people would probably pay a premium to buy it from me.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It's scary to have another investment, but it's also like kind of exciting to have another investment in time. I mean, and money. That's the other thing. Like to have those channels, you just have to pay for new packs.
Oh yeah, like those people who like the big YouTubers, like they must spend thousands of dollars. Yeah. I'm like, dude, like I'll buy a pack every now and then, but like I
just had a call with Lee Hart
really?
Yeah, he's like the big guy.
You did a podcast with him?
No, I had a phone call with him yesterday.
Oh really? Yeah, he's got like close to 1 million subscribers or something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So how did you meet him?
I just added him on Facebook.
There you go.
But we had some mutual friends.
Oh, that's cool. He's really good friends with Danny Duncan. I don't know if you knew that.
Really? That's
the big YouTuber. Yeah, like he was in one of his videos.
That's
and like
random.
Yeah, but like
Danny Duncan's
just for like they both live in Dallas, I guess. Like I know
like Danny lives in Dallas. Danny doesn't live in Dallas.
He lives in Texas though, right? Or no?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. I lived in Dallas for 5 years, so he's definitely not in Dallas.
Well, maybe he doesn't live in Dallas, but I know for a fact that he was like, I like clicked on a video. He was like, yeah, my good friend Danny Duncan, and I was like, what? And then like I scrolled through the video, and he was in the video. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's weird.
But yeah, well, I just wanted to take that time at the end too to just talk about Pokemon cards a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciate it. What would you say? What right now, if I'm gonna start opening cards, what's the best bang for buck, like on a cheaper new set? Like what booster packs are still cheap but could still pull something decent?
So Darkness Ablaze, the one that comes out on the 14th, has a Charizard. So I would, if you're gonna buy a couple packs, maybe Darkness Ablaze because it's gonna be $450 for just one pack. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
If you see anything Hidden Fates, buy it. And you don't even have to open it. Just buy it and keep it because it'll still be expensive.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, keep an eye out for the holiday set that's coming out too. Champions
Okay.
Path.
All right.
Yeah.
And then where do you like if you wanted to buy like a booster box right now? Like it's scary how I've already seen some of these like fake booster boxes that look identical. Like where are places you can trust to buy unopened cards?
So there's a
Online.
place online. Not Amazon, not eBay, not
Yeah, because
Craigslist, not
they're
none of
all yeah.
yeah. I
All the
there's
sources that are big, not any of those.
there's a store by my house, like in Buffalo, that I go to that I know
Yeah.
everything's legit. But
Yeah.
I know there's one website. It's like,
Some of them seem somewhat legit, like some of the the resellers on Amazon. It's
yeah,
like Nerd Toys or whatever. Like, and they have like a legitimate website with good reviews and stuff. But it's still like, why can't it just be? Why?
because
I hate that on like Walmart.com. You just buy from Walmart anymore. It's all these resellers.
I know. Well, because
Scary.
Walmart usually they won't carry like booster boxes
Yeah.
because those are like they'll run you 100, 150 bucks.
Yeah.
And they have 36 packs in them, which is a
Right.
lot.
Right.
But there is one website. I know Leonhardt, the one we're just on the phone with. He talked about it in one of his videos. I forget what the name was. I could even send it to you. But
Cool. Okay.
I know they're like super accredited. But I would just say do some research before you buy, $100 worth of product from a website.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because
for
it's
sure.
either like they like reseal the packs and take out the good cards, or they weigh
Yeah.
them. So like the ones with like the hollow foil
Yeah.
on will weigh more, so they'll give you the lighter packs.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh,
All right, cool.
that's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fun.
I didn't think about it that deep, but that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's messed up for sure.
It was great having you on.
Yeah,
Absolutely
appreciate it.
great time, great conversation. We got to learn a little bit more about you and what you're interested in your career. So that was awesome, and we're
Yeah.
glad to be on. Definitely.
Yeah,
Of course. Keep up the
Seriously.
grind, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, seriously, thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy, so really
No, it's
appreciate
all
it.
good. We did it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See you guys.